Hello, and welcome back. It is once again time for some Dread Delusion. Last we left off, we got a special mission from the King of the Clockwork Kingdom. And we believe we've nearly completed it. So we're going to be finishing up that, as well as a couple of other things around the Clockwork Kingdom. There's an entire section of the kingdom that we haven't explored yet. But we're going to be looking around all that, and then I guess we'll be... Oh yeah, we'll also need to make our way back to the Endless Lands and go to the mountain to go talk to our ghost friend, because they've got some stuff to tell us that I forgot about when we were over there before. And then I guess we will be headed back to our main base to continue the hunt for Vela Kalos. Gotta report back to the High Confessor in the blinding light to plan our next course of action. So, I should first, I just wanna also, So anyways, first off, I've got a new ring. It was focused for a second there. It's like a black cracked oval stainless steel ring. I think it looks pretty darn cool. Also, I realized that it's finally weather-wise appropriate for the shirt and I guess, is it a cardigan or whatever? It's got a big hood. It's got a huge hood. It's very nice. It's perfect for this kind of outfit. So, as we're doing, let's to it, I guess. Alright, so main quest-wise, we got this for after nightfall. I suppose we could actually just do some exploring. Rather than sleeping till nightfall, we'll just do some exploring till nightfall, then pop back. Though, it's hard to tell when it is, in fact, night time. I'm sure we'll figure it out, right? That's the way we want to go. Let's see here. If this loops around here, we want to go back in that direction. Let's see if we can find a way over there. Can't jump up that. But we can jump over here. Yeah, here we go, here we go, here we go. This is the way to do it. Fine. It's fine. This is the ring that... Yes. And this is the... Sure. Yep. Perfect. That. Don't even worry about it. We'll be fine. I do want to go up here because I think there's a path that... Yeah, that right there can only be accessed from this side, so... Open up that real quick. Also, I spy some stuff, some potions. Also, a terrible creature we'll have to deal with. That we will have to dispatch. Take one of those for safety, you know? But our health will regenerate over time. Ooh. Oh, potion. Is that a luck potion? Yes, an elixir of luck. Nice. That's a signpost. What's this? A mine. But also, hello. Their voice comes through harsh and commanding. Through their helmet. Helmet? This guy doesn't have a helmet. The other two have helmets, but okay.
Got enough, have you? Had your fill? If you'd any respect, you'd off right back to Ferropolis.
Sounds like it's burning, but I don't see any fire. Well, I'm gonna peek on into this. Is that iron? No, wait, it's... Yeah, no, maybe it is iron, maybe? Pretty please? No, that's a fine ore. Puh. I spit on you. I need iron! I need so much iron. Don't you understand? Mark this down. Map has been updated. Yo. Nice. Okay, so that's the extent of these lands. So there's not actually too much. We've been to the Lost City of Progress, which means it's just whatever this structure is, and whatever this. So that means it's just this little bit. Okay, not too much to explore. do you mean the door needs a key? Yeah, I'll take that. Huh. Well, that's interesting. I've not been told anything about that building. Apparently, it's special. Guess we'll have a quick sweep around. See if there's anything else up here. I kind of expected him to walk towards me when I first shot him, but he started running off that way. And then turned around. Yeah, that don't sound good. What do you think? Do you think it's nighttime yet? I've got a compass, but I really wish I had like a sundial or something. Some way to tell time, you know? Especially in, you know, the Clockwork Kingdom, you'd think they'd have some... What the... Well, that's... maybe... Wow, I didn't take any damage from that fall. Is there some secret down here, or... is this just... poor decisions? Well, I guess we'll have to pop back into town. Say hello. Alright, fine. Let's get a room. We'll sleep till night, since I really don't know what time it is. It was getting close. It was getting close. Okay, yeah, the world is definitely darker. So we might have noticed. Maybe. Look at that. Light hitting my sword. That's cool. Afra's mechanical arm gives you a fluid salutation. How goes our task, friend? Tap your cranium. Head full of gears as requested. Splendid! You're practically one of us now, eh? I promise you won't regret it. I've been studying the message you retrieved from the graveyard. I think its majesty wants us to pass it on elsewhere, but not by the usual channels. In the corrupted lands, there is a royal broadcast beacon, formerly used to send signals down to the Underlands. Is that the place I just was? The one that needs a key? Wow. It was abandoned when corruption overtook the area and has since fallen into disrepair. However, the king has not forgotten it. Unfortunately, the beacon is no longer answering remote commands, which means you, and I am truly sorry for this, must deliver the message in person. She hands you a weighty folder of forest green leather. This is what we machinists call a punch card. It's a way of recording information so the king can understand. In this case, music. Use the punch card to open the tower door, then insert it into the apparatus at the top of the beacon. Why would you want to send signals to the Underlands? We asked the king that same question. Its Majesty was adamant that someone or something might be alive down there, and that contacting them was somehow critical to the kingdom's future. Alas, no response ever came. Anything else? I mean, I already know how to get to the corrupted lands. This sounds incredibly dangerous. Very much so. Ordinarily, I wouldn't contemplate such a journey, and I truly wish I could go myself, but if Sunil notices I'm absent for too long, our whole plan will be sunk. My advice? Try not to enter any structure not fixed to the ground. Cleanup workers are your friends. If you taste lilac, turn back immediately. And if you see an eyeball, do not meet its gaze. If you need respite, I believe there's a royal cleanup camp in that area, although I've never been there myself. Anything else? Royal cleanup camp, huh? Corrupted lands are southeast of here, across a great chasm carved out by the king's machines. Officially, there's no way in, but I found records of an old abandoned digging engine in the area that might offer you a path. I'll have the king conjure the access code directly into your cranial modulator. I've already been there. I already got through. I don't need the access code. Just picture me in your mind's eye with as much detail as you can, and it'll come to you. If you say so. Anything else? That's all, but if I become a monster, I'll eat you first. Entirely fair. How else can I empower you? Just wish me luck. All the luck in the world. Alright. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna leap off this balcony again. Look, look, look. Woo! Running around at the speed of sound. Got places to go, gotta follow my rainbow. Place your head. Plan instead. Their voice is metallic and distorted through their helmet.
Don't try anything funny or you're toast. And I mean the blackened, charcoaly kind.
Right, don't try anything like what? Like this? Follow me, I set you free. Follow me, set you free. Follow me, you will escape from the city. Ow. Rude. Just didn't want you bugging me while I... Man. What? Yeah. This now. Now you'll let me mark it. There's a lot of structures up here, though. Yeah. Poison. Ammo. Lockpick. So, for some reason, Twitch is saying poor connection. probably a server issue, which sucks. Getting half the kilobits per second that I want. Not good. Not good for quality of stream, for sure. What if I do meet their gaze, though? See, nothing bad happens. They were all worried for nothing. This place ain't that bad. The cleanup worker mutters to themselves as if you're not even there.
Be a hero, they said. Save the kingdom, they said. And you had to go and listen, didn't you?
But you'd be a hero. Don't you want to be a hero? What you mean it's barred from the other side? What the? Maybe. Yeah, this must be the cleanup encampment place, right? Yeah, cleanup camp. Yo, what's this? Oh, is that the special? Yeah, glorious silk. That's right. Cool. So,
Welcome to the end of the world, citizen. The food's terrible, but you can't beat the view.
what is this place exactly?
The last outpost of normal reality. Or at least.
Their words are drowned out by a deafening metallic voice from the main building.
Cleanup worker!
Flores, report to my office. Repeat, Flores to my office. Huang out.
Normal for us, anyway. Stay back, citizen. These monsters are dormant right now, but they could rouse at any moment, and if they get their claws into you, you'll be everybody's problem.
What are those things?
Would you believe they used to be citizens just like you or me? Once the corruption takes you, there's no return.
Thanks for the warning, but also these kinds of guys have smacked me a couple of times, and I'm fine.
Well, if it ain't the Curse Dodger in the flesh. Chief not gotten tired of you yet? Or have you come back just to see me?
Huh? What? If you say so. They poke a long, thin probe inside your mouth, then wave it all up and down your body, then the connected apparatus emits little chirps and warbles.
Alright, you're clean. For now. Go on ahead.
What's your problem? Curse Dodger? What?
Scrape your boots, will ya? The mud here can chew through wrought iron.
Are you happy? Y'all are crazy. You might not want to go upstairs, mate. The chief's in an awful mood. They glance up suddenly as a metallic voice booms from above.
Attention all hands. Roll call in 36 minutes. Repeat, 36 minutes. No dawdling this time. Huang out.
Then again, ain't he always? This cleanup worker is tearing hungrily at a hunk of black bread like a rabid dog. They do not respond except to make an obscene gesture at you. What? Uncalled for. You see a scarred man with several days' stubble chewing an unlit cigar as he scans over a map. He curses and leans over to it. Excuse me. To a trumpet-like apparatus sprouting from the wall.
Attention reserve shift. Zeta Patrol is late. I want a relief party ready in 36 minutes. Huang out.
As he speaks, you can faintly hear his magically amplified words booming across the camp outside the window. He turns to you with a scowl.
What's this now? A tourist? Afraid we'll have to skip the grand tour. Or are you gonna tell me you took a wrong turn?
I'm just an explorer, won't get in your way.
You're a wee bit off course, I suppose. You're a wee bit off course. I suppose you've never even heard of all the treasures in the corrupted lands. Let's get one thing straight, sunshine. I'm cleanup leader Huang, and this is my cleanup camp. That means every here follows my rules and obeys my orders, no matter what some for brains tinker from Ferropolis says. Clear? Now, why the are you in my office?
Guess I'll be leaving now. Is this? No. I go further that way. Come on. Oh, I gained a shuriken, apparently. Their voice is metallic and distorted through their helmets.
Anyone or anything could be corrupted out here, so you better keep your distance, tourist.
Okay. Won't let me up. Oh, I mean, the doorway's barred anyways. Woo! Free glimmer. There's things. It's the one I'm looking for. Did you just like cast bleed on me? Not cast, but bleed in me? How rude. Unseen device? I see it.
Not so unseen to me. Ring of Stamina. Boost the stamina of its wearer. Trapped within the gem is a spell which bonds with the wearer's nervous system. Although once mass-produced, antique rings like this have become a rarity. Plus 20 stamina. Me? Anything else? What are you doing here, Bo? This cleanup worker is tearing hungrily at a hunk of black bread like a rabid dog. They do not respond except to make an obscene gesture. With it? No, they're not. They're wearing a helmet. They ain't chewing into anything. You liar! What? Reusing a dialogue box from a previous NPC? What is this? Elixir of Restoration and 8 coins. Alright. Well, I guess we'll get back to our current mission. Elevator. Yeah, these corrupted lands aren't as bad as people make them seem. The control panel is a dizzying array of levers, dials, and buttons, many smashed or corroded. Among them is a slot-like entry port. Hang on, what is going on here? What's going on with my camera? What are you doing? Oh my goodness. There we go. Weird. Camera just shut off for no reason. Very well. Now you can see me when I talk. The control panel is a dizzying array of levers, dials, and buttons, many smashed or corroded. Among them is a slot-like entry port, waiting for input. A howling wind whips snow and ash across your face. Insert the punch card with the king's message. The card jams in the slot, but you give it a good shove. For a moment, nothing happens. The whole tower begins to vibrate. Needles jump back and forth along their dials. A transistor bursts in a shower of glass. One by one, indicator lights go green as the beacon reconnects with its long-lost king. Above you, the giant antenna crackles into life and emits a pulse of silent sound, felt in your belly rather than heard. The pulse continues at regular intervals, singing a song that only your bones can hear, broadcasting a monarch's lonely cry down into the underlands. Suddenly, the control panel crackles and squeals before emitting a familiar voice.
Could this thing even work? Hey! Are you hearing this? Mikhail, is that you? Misha? No, this is ancient mummified queen of the Underlands here to tell you that you have stupid nose, pinhead, nincompoop. Listen, we do not have long with this device, so pay attention. Misha has some friends who have been watching you through the king's eyes. They know all about Chief Interpreter Afra and her big plan. Enough to cannot be trusted. Go down Shinferopolis and find a market trader called Reza. Ask them the 7th letter. Do this before you Afra's punch card, understand? What was that about 7th letter? It appears Mikhail can no longer hear you. You and I believe we have seen each other's souls. We have and discussed philosophy. Nothing matters. This Misha is asking you as a friend. There's nothing more save for the roar of static. What the? So what are my options here? Activate and discuss communication communication begin. But afterwards you received a transmission from Mikhail, the smuggler, warning you not to trust Afra and asking you to seek out his mysterious friends. Find a market trader named Reza in Ferropolis and mention the 7th letter before or after returning to Afra. The pulse continues at regular intervals, singing a song that only your bones can hear, broadcasting a monarch's lonely cry down into the underlands. Wild. Still considered nighttime, or is it now morning? Ah, good. Afra peers up into the sky, her brows furrowed in contemplation. Is this normal? She tears her eyes away from the celestial teapot. No, I would certainly say this is new. What does it mean? I confess I'm struggling. Is it a sign, an instruction, a response to our broadcast? Then why a teapot? I checked and rechecked my calculations. All we can do is stick to the plan. Oh, yes, I almost forgot. The king has summoned you for another audience, just as we hoped. Afra hands you a leather folder, far heavier than the last. Here it is, friend. 8 years of my life, and the hopes of a kingdom now rest in your hands. Friend, I don't know what will happen after this, so if you have any concerns, now's the time to voice them. What do I do with this punch card exactly? When you return to the Machinarium, the audience chamber will be open. Insert my punch card into the king's petition port, and my magic will do the rest. Anything else? This may be your last chance. Still have questions about your spell. I'll explain everything I can, as many times as you need. How much freedom to change will your spell really allow? Initially, a defined set of about 100 qualities can be changed. With hard limits on things like height or density, the king won't do anything that directly endangers your life, or another's, so you can't become an 80-foot giant with no lungs. Other qualities will become changeable in time once the spell has proved its worth. Most of these rules can be modified by a vote of more than half the kingdom. Wherever possible, I have favored incentives over hard limits. After a trial period, you'll be stuck with your changes for a year, so you'll have to think carefully. Other incentives will ensure an optimal distribution of qualities for the whole kingdom. What do you mean by optimal for the whole kingdom? An individual must be free to choose their fate, but from society's point of view, you don't want everyone to be an artist or indeed a carpenter. Past kingdoms solved this through conscription, slavery, or rigid social rank, brutal methods for a brutal age. Under my system, the king will monitor the overall balance of qualities and provide incentives for those that are in shortage. So if too many people have made themselves mercurial and creative, the king may offer rewards for constancy and pragmatism. If too few have the temperament for farm work, the king may incentivize that temperament. Won't that lead to the same kind of mass rewriting that machinists already do? I don't believe so. There's nothing wrong with asking people to compromise with the needs of their community. What's important is that they're free to say no. Okay. What about mistakes? If your new king goes mad too, how will anyone stop it? The current faults demonstrably stem from specific errors in our previous spells, born from wishful neglect of fundamental principles. That Sunil denies this does not make it false. There's a saying within the guild which would be seditious if repeated in public. Drek in, drek out means that if you give the king faulty input, you'll get a faulty result. Yet the reverse is also true. With properly enumerated powers and properly specified goals, the errors you describe will never arise in the first place. My spell will create a self-balancing, self-correcting equilibrium capable of adapting itself to new circumstances. I've spent 8 years planning this. I'm certain it is sound. Does that all make sense? What if a good king isn't possible? What if that much power can't ever be just? Heavens, you sound just like the saboteur. I admit, I've asked myself the same question. When the hour is late and sleep eludes me. But I've seen the power of cipher magic to save a life. Without it, I would have been locked forever inside the person I used to be. How can we just walk away from that? We don't chew our meat raw because fire can raise our towns. We don't renounce the axe because it chops necks as well as trees. We don't spurn the wheel when it crushes a child's hand. I refuse to accept abstination as our only choice. I will not surrender to the hunger and despair that have hitherto plagued all history. I will not relinquish the dream of the first machinist to those who have forgotten it. Does that all make sense? All the answers I wanted. Do you happen to know a sky pilot named Mikhail? Oh, Misha? He's a dear, isn't he? I'd be so forgetful without his medicines. You can't import them without a letter from the king. One of those little perks of my job. Why do you ask? How well do you really know him? It's hard to tell, isn't it? The man is like a deep river, all iced over. You skate on the surface, thinking it'll never break, then suddenly you plunge into his other world, or into this other world. the next day, it's all ice again. I know he was born in Slev. His family came here after the God War, seeking a better life, when he was just a boy. It's people like them that this kingdom should be working for. You somehow spoke to me through the beacon, warned me not to help you. Aphra looks concerned. Really? But surely he can't know about our plans. And how could he possibly have subverted the king's magic? Misha is a fine sailor, but he's no magician. There are reports of people seeing or hearing phantoms in the corrupted lands. Long dead loved ones, or even their own self. Some say the corruption can read your memories, the better to lure you to your doom. I'm glad you're alive, friend. Pay it no mind. Our task requires your full attention. Anything else? This may be your last chance. Guess that's it. Aphra smiles, failing to conceal her anxiety. I'm counting on you, friend. Yeah, I'll just... might as well go and speak with that person. Oh no, not summon skeleton. That would be silly. Look at that, I took no damage from that fall. Alright, nobody's gonna be down here at night, are they? Wait. No, he's just some beggar. Need to find a Brenna, I think. See a middle-aged person with light brown skin and an eye patch, dressed in an eclectic patchwork of colorful fabrics. Can't quite figure out their gender, which seems deliberate. Why, hello there, child. Come to browse? What are you selling? Why, charms and trinkets to attract the favor of the Clockwork King, or ward off its majesty's displeasure. Look here. This cogwheel was plucked from the king's own belly, inscribed with sacred six-fold cipher. Worn around your neck, it will grant you fortune at summoning stations. Or this incense, burn it while you write a petition to the king, and it shall speed your request. Well, child, do you see anything else that interests you? Who are you? The name is Reza, child. Fortune teller, trinket vendor, and listener on many grapevines. For a price, I can sell you talismans of luck and protection, or perhaps even give a little advice about your problems. You keep calling me child, but I'm at least as old as you. Reza gives you a crooked grin. We are all children of the cosmos now. What kind of problems do you mean? Everyone's problems are different, child. To truly help a person, there must be trust. I'm new here, and this place terrifies and confuses me. I'd be glad for your guidance. They examine you, then their expression softens. I'm sorry, child. I can only imagine. This is not a good place for travelers, is it? Everyone must deal with the king now and then. In my long life, I'm lucky to have learned a little of its majesty's ways. So I help people with their problems as best I can. Nothing illegal, just advice. I can coach you to file an appeal to that the guild will treat as high priority. Diagnose misfiring magic in your building's heating engine. Interpret a royal proclamation you can't make sense of. Perhaps even point you toward a friendly machinist. I never cheat, no. I only help people find the path where everyone ends up happy. So you see, child, I too, in my own way, am a servant of the king. I actually had a confusing encounter with the king just recently. Oh, my child, quite an ordeal, Show me your hand. Reza traces their bony fingers gently along the lines of your palm, humming a hypnotic tune and swinging a cipher-inscribed vacuum tube back and forth on a sprocket chain. The king has sensed that a terrible destiny stalks behind you. Matching your step, you chase a strange star. Your quarry seeks to exhume the grave of history and rewrite the music of time. Perhaps His Majesty believes you have a role to play here in the kingdom too. They release your hand, smiling kindly. Or perhaps it is a mistake. The king does make them, you know. Well, child, see anything else that interests you? I'm looking for the 7th letter. The gaudy trader squints at you, then glances left and right to check no one is listening. They beckon you closer. Who told you to come here? Were you followed? Misha sends his greetings. Good. They appraise you with their remaining eye. So you are the one who's helping Afra. I see she's got your head stuffed with clockwork, like a good little machinist. Tell me, did she explain what a cranial moderator does? Morozov mentioned a few side effects, migraine, seizures. Let me speak sixfold cipher. Ha, I'm sure. So then nobody warned you how a cranial moderator warps your thinking? Smooths out any irrational notions. Makes you look at the world like a machinist, seeing everything as a puzzle you can solve. The biggest changes will take a few years, but mark my words, they will come. That's why I got rid of mine. You used to be a machinist too? Yes, for many years. I even wrote some of the cipher magic that lets the king alter people. So I speak with authority when I say that countless lives depend on you defying Afra's plan. Oh yeah? Where's that shop? Huh. Lots of conspiracies. The music grabs your wrist with surprising strength. Child, this is your last chance to hear the whole truth. Once you enter the king's audience chamber, you'll never see me again. Just like all those people, the king has vanished. Alright, I'm listening. Don't misunderstand me. Afra's a sweet girl. We were very close once. She absolutely believes she is doing the right thing. Sadly for all of us, she is wrong. Look around you, child. See how we are all at the mercy of this infernal machine, which not even the machinist can control. Can you honestly say that what we need is more Clockwork King? However brilliant Afra's spell may be, it cannot fix the problems with the king. Because the king is the problem. What's your alternative? Rizza flashes you a crooked grin and hands you something heavy, wrapped in colorful rags. I'm glad you asked. This is a different kind of spell. Inserted in place of Afra's, it will trigger a runaway fault cascade, that gradually but irrevocably shuts down the king with minimum destruction.
Hey, you're the saboteur, aren't you?
They smiled cryptically. There's no such person as the saboteur, child. Only a group of like-minded people who love this land and see no good in leaving its fate to an overgrown grandfather clock. So, do we understand each other? Or is there more you would know?
About your spell.
What about it, child?
What's so dangerous about Afra's spell?
Afra's had these plans for a long time. We used to stay up so late, bouncing wild ideas back and forth. She believes she has been lucky, and wants the same for others. I admire that about her, truly. But ask her this. Under her plan, will people really be free to choose whatever changes they want? Or will there be a limit? Will the king be neutral on what changes we make, or will it have a bias? Afra is a child of the guild. She believes in her soul that if she keeps tinkering, she can design a perfect system. If only she understood how much they've stolen from her. Do you still have questions, child? Everyone here depends on the king. If you kill it, many people will die. They grimace. I won't pretend otherwise. There will be chaos and much suffering, and certainly death. I only ask you to consider how many more could die if you keep the king in place. We will never know how many people the king has altered to make them better workers. My former colleagues saw people's baser instincts as an impediment to progress, so they chose to scrap the people and build another. But, child, in my trade, you will learn a lot about people. Most folk want to help each other. It is this vile contraption breathing down their necks that stops them, making us fear each other, envy each other, denounce each other for one more day's bread. Without the king, our fate will rest again upon each other's shoulders. There's no work of Cypher that I trust more than that. It's all we really have and all we need. Do you still have questions, child? About you and your cause. I'll tell you whatever I can without endangering my comrades. Machinists say you're the reason for the king's problems. Hogwash! Child, I know what the king is made of. I could recite every syllable of its cipher nucleus by heart, although to do so would be most unwise. Do we sabotage the king when we believe it will do good? Certainly. Do we divert royal goods to distribute fairly in our communities? Yes, sometimes. But are we the root of the king's madness? Don't make me laugh. We could toil for decades and cause fewer faults than the king itself generates before breakfast. Only a truly stupid machinist could believe that we are anything more than an excuse for their failures. Do you still have questions, child? You were a machinist too. What makes you any better than Afra? Now you're asking the right questions. Yes, I accept my share of blame for the mess this kingdom is in. Luckily, I do not work alone. Although this spell was drafted by my hands, it is the work of many minds. Most of my comrades, whom you will never meet, are ordinary layfolk. I pledge my magic to serve them, not the other way around. Do you know why I was chosen to give you this punch card? Because I'm the most expendable. The machinists already know very well who I am. Do you still have questions, child? Why'd you leave the Machinist Guild? Child, did you ever hear that old fairy tale about the boy who got a splinter of a mirror in his eye that made him cold and cruel, seeing only the worst in things? The king wields unimaginable power, far too much for any one being. In my youth, I thought that this made the guild more important, that we had a duty to use such power wisely. But when you make so many life or death decisions every day, when you see people's darkest secrets piled up in stacks every morning in the royal archives like so many freshly cut logs, you grow numb to it. You forget what the stakes are. I did not like what I saw reflected in my colleagues' eyes or in my own. Do you still have questions, child? Ask about something else. As you wish. The least I can do is answer. Very well, I'll consider what you've said. That's all I ask, child. Don't trust Afra, and don't trust me either. Just do what you think is right.
That sounds manipulative.
I'm only telling you what I believe, and it's up to you to decide what you want to do. So she says. I already robbed this place. I think I've already. Yup. Wasn't there another? There's that dream seller. Dream salesman. Where is he at? Can't recall. Well, I can just push open the doors. Guess I don't need to bust it down. This is the apartment. Oh, here we go. This has got to be it. Yes. Bittersweet bottled vision, a perfect copy of a single vivid dream. These lurid fantasies are a subject of feverish moral debate in the Union. This one is by Anonymous and contains scenes of tenderness and devastating heartbreak. Interesting. Before we go to see the king, I'd like to see the house that I now own. If I can figure out where it is exactly. Is this the one? No, no. I know it's out here somewhere. Just not sure which building it is. Could it be the... No. No. I assume it will have a locked door. requires the key that I was given. I think I've already been in this building, haven't I? Yeah, I just got someone else. Some other loony. So where might it be? Maybe up there. Oh, you know, it's probably way up there, isn't it? Hold up. Whoops. Yeah. Critical spell cast. It is right next to the teleporter, so it probably... And it's got its own home point. Yeah. This is the place. Okay. What kinds of upgrades we got here? We got a balcony. We got an annex. The house. Workshop. See, I need more iron, man. Need more iron, man. Let's build the balcony. Why not? Spend some resources on that. While we're here, may as well also in this realm. Let me see. So I need to go up there. Guess if we pass straight through the... Yeah, I suppose. You can also jump off that cliff. Alright. Let's head through town. Yeah, there's my ghostly friend. What the? Something is getting hurt and bleeding. What's going on here? Looks weird. What's in here? Iron! I love it. I've got 3 iron now, and a bomb, and a glimmer as well. Oh, joy of joys.
This is where it all started. The mercenary outfit known as the Dark Stars. Vela, Jack Assault, and Wave. Just the 3 of them in a cave with a rickety sloop, barely skyworthy. On one of their first jobs, they found me. Or rather, the real me, before I looked like a rubbish painting. The 3 of them near killed me.
So, wait, you fought Vela?
That's right, stranger. They've been hired by Rio the Noble to round up Wiccans in Hollowshire, back before the Union was here in full force. So I woke up one morning with Orlaith's sword at my throat, in her full Imperial armor. It was quite a shock, though not as much the shock I gave her. A bolt of pure electricity, surging through all that metal. And so we fought, me and my goblet, versus the three of them. I almost escaped, but seeing Vela fight is something else. Usually I can describe what someone plans to do, but Vela's thoughts are bristling with possibilities. Before I knew it, she was behind me with the daggers on my neck. I thought I was dead, but she simply asked, "How would you like to be murdered?" And so they brought me back here, to their hideout, and the three became four. You have to understand, stranger. I spent my youth cowering from the Union and their agents. My parents taught me all I know of Wiccan magic, of how to hear the language of cipher and all things. But when my parents vanished, I was left with no one. When I told Vela my story, she wept and embraced me. It had been a long time. I felt the touch, or since I felt the touch of another person. And looking into her eyes was like staring into the void. Normally, stranger, I can read people, catch a glimpse of what's to come. But Vela? Her future was a tangle of infinite possibility. She was unreadable. It was intoxicating. Those first few years with Dark Stars, it was the first time I felt like I belonged somewhere. My comrades didn't fear my cipher. They relied on it.
You had it tough growing up. I'm sorry.
No more than any other Wiccan in living memory. In truth, I was lucky. Vela, for all her flaws, she saved me.
Uh-huh.
Those first few years of Dark Stars, it was the first time I felt like I belonged somewhere. My comrades didn't fear my cipher, they relied on it.
Okay. How's that quest looking? Uh-huh. Now you should enter and hear what more she has to say. What? Oh.
In those early days of Dark Stars, Vela took contracts from anyone. The Union, the Wiccans, even outlaws. But it was about the cause, not the coin. She couldn't stand the thought of being like her father, whose military campaigns had wrought so much upheaval. So if the contract smelled fishy, she turned it down and went hungry. We didn't mind. Though when we took a job, nothing could stop us. It wasn't long before our numbers swelled and we outgrew this tiny cave. Soon enough, everyone from the lowest ruffian to the loftiest noble knew of the Dark Stars.
What made people want to follow Vela?
Vela cajoled us all with intoxicating dreams. We weren't just going to get rich. We were going to build something that neither the Union nor the Wiccans had. A place free from gods or masters. A paradise. A heaven. Those times were the happiest of my life. We fought together, drank and danced together, dreamed together, but it was not to last.
So what went wrong?
To pay the new recruits, Vela had to be less scrupulous with contracts. I clashed with her at times. When she slew the mine god Cernan, I flew to rage. I never wanted the blood of a god in my hands. But it was when she found that Iberian key that things really got out of hand. There's an island drifting to the northwest of the Clockwork Kingdom that contains the wreckage of the Black Goblin airship. Meet me there and I'll finish this story.
Huh. Is that so? Also, real quick. Woo! I want this. Nice. Now we can go break. Clockwork. And I do want to make a stop at my home. Question is how to go about that. Hello Town, I believe. Yeah. But oh wait, is this where I want to get? Yes. This is my cave. Nothing else in here. That has not grown back. Let's check our mine. See if there's anything new there. Yes! Another iron, I knew it. The iron, it respawns. Love it. Okay. Rusty greatsword. We can turn that into a steel greatsword, and then we can immediately turn that into a fine greatsword. Because we have so much fine ore. Nice. Now, of course, we need more Emberian to make it into a second Emberian greatsword, but getting there. That's going to cost another 3, and that would take 3 Emberian instead of 4. Yeah. We need more iron. So much. So much iron. Let's make a stop in our little garden, get some resources back. Nice. And you know what? Why not take a little nap? Over here. Everything's all built. Yeah, that's a teapot. Short and stout. There's the handle. There's the spout. Yeah, I think there's some problems with the cave. Many problems. Also, here? Is that what or is she talking about? No, Oh, that's the Royal Vision Works. So I think Ghosty wants me to go over there, because that's north and west. It's gotta be. It's gotta be. So first... first things first. It's fine, I tell you, it's fine. Just wanna... She nods.
A pragmatic answer, but a ruler would soon learn that their hands will never be clean of blood, and doing nothing is still a decision.
Yeah, I gave you that answer a long time ago. Hey, ship. Oh yeah, you're the one that took me here. Just wanted to take a look at things over here. You know? Try out this paperwork that I was given.
The border's closed.
Hand over your travel permit for inspection. Actually, I'm a little concerned that it might be a one-time use. So maybe I should go over here, since that at least leads to something that I can't reach otherwise. Let's do that. Follow me, set you free. Follow me, we'll escape from the city. Follow the road. Oh, you know what? We can talk to that guy while we're here. Sell him our cartography. Plus, we've mapped all 3 lands, or all 4 lands? I don't know. We've mapped all of the lands. Yeah, all 3 lands. How about that? You mustn't let slip to anyone here about our presence, understand? I have charts to hand in. 48 coins. Excellent. Yes, these will do nicely. The detail is impressive for one of your limited experience. Please take this in recompense. Farewell, I guess. So, border guard.
Greetings, traveler. I'm sorry, but if you're a clockwork citizen looking for refuge in the Apostatic Union, you're gonna need an Apostatic Union passport to cross this gate bridge. You see, lots of folk have been trying to flee the chaos of the Clockwork King, and this gate bridge has been designated to help Union folk, and only Union folk make the crossing. Nobles in Hollowshire reckon the place has enough problems without an influx of refugees. Looks like you ain't got squat. Go on, get out of here.
Dang it, it needs a passport. Yeah, I don't have another one. That kind of sucks. Might need to see if I can get my hands on a fake. Regardless, though, our current mission is to head down to that little island down there. Head down to that there little island over there. You see? That's where we're headed right now. A little more careful here. Woo.
This pile of junk was once the most fearsome pirate ship of the Skylands, the Black Goblin. Merchants from Imperia to Alastra feared its volley of cipher-inscribed cannonballs. The Union Navy paid us a fortune to headhunt the captain. In the end, we got the coin and the ship. Few dared cross the Dark Stars after that.
How'd you win the ship battle?
We were going up against a galleon with a tiny schooner. We had 2 guns. They had 20 per side. By anyone's measure, it was pure suicide. But I've always had a certain knack for foresight. I knew they would commit their starboard, so we had the better of them. Before they knew it, we had one of our guns pointing straight at their rear. But this was not any old gun. It was one of Caxton Frost's cannons. Single blast from that thing tore straight through the whole ship, sending it ablaze. In the confusion, our boarding party was on deck. We were 8 against 100, but with a few words from the Duchess, they found their swords to be awfully heavy. Orlaith cut through swaths of them, carving a path to their captain. By the time Vela had her sword to his neck, he had soiled himself. The ship was ours, and that night we got so plastered from their stores of rum, I accidentally exploded a silk slug. That poor thing.
You really do sound like an adventuring party. Like a D&D adventuring party.
After the Black Goblin came the Blinding Light. A mercenary company with a galleon is impressive, but with a god war fortress, none could best us. But it was around that Vela and Orlaith stumbled upon a map. Deep in some Iberian ruin, it told of the cradle, buried far below in the underlands, which held the power to change everything. Vela was always ambitious. We thought she really could build a fantasy, a heaven of her own making. But now she was speaking of something else entirely. She wanted to become a god, to change the very fabric of reality.
I mean, we know to what end. Come on now. I've been following along. But also... Come on, Vela. Do you really believe there exists some kind of mechanism or cipher in the Underland that could rewrite the laws of reality? Don't you think that if that really existed, the people of the old world, before the sundering or whatever, you think they would have used it, and the world wouldn't have been sundered? You know? Just saying. So what happens next? Or what happened next?
The crew was split. Some were eager to follow her to the Underlands, especially if it would make them even more rich. But many of us thought she had crossed into madness. Her fame had twisted into infamy, and even the Inquisition now considered us criminals. From infancy I had learned to listen to the language of the cosmos. Cipher flows through all things, as grammar and syntax weave through our bodies and dreams alike. To change those rules, for me, would be a bigger heresy than slaying 1,000 gods. So when Olathe raised her sword against Vela and stirred the crew of the Black Goblin to mutiny, I was willing to spill my own blood for the cause. And spill it I would.
Yeah? So where to next? Are we... Oh, are we going up here? Yeah.
In truth, I knew the Black Goblin stood no chance against Godmore Fortress. The blinding light's guns tore through our hull in moments, leaving us sinking towards the clouds. Through the smoke and the chaos, I saw Vale aboard our ship. She was furious. Her and Olathe were like sisters. She couldn't take the betrayal. Through the haze of battle, I saw their blades clash, and I saw Olathe, her defense broken, hurled from the side of the ship. And then a crash like I've never felt before. The ship had run aground. When I came to, in this very spot, Vela stood overhead, staring right at me. I was bloody, wounded, but Vela just turned and walked away. It was at that moment I was born, or I was born, this spectral echo of my former self. I tried to scream, I tried to cry, but I had not yet learned how to coalesce into a body, a shape. So I watched my corporeal body, my former self, lie there, barely clinging to life. I watched the Inquisition agents arrive, and I saw her scream as they dragged her away. I watched as they threw her in a cell, and their instruments of agony tore into her flesh. I watched as her will broke, and she spilled every secret she knew. I watched as they destroyed her.
I'm so sorry.
Spare no tears for me, stranger. I have long abandoned self-pity.
So, does another version of you still live? She grins.
Of course, stranger. It's only in those old fairy tales of the Middle Ages that one has to die to become a ghost. In fact, you're well acquainted with my corporeal self. I'm sure you figure out who.
The... What is it? Confessor? The one who gave me my job? My tasks? If so, the Confessor? Confess? Yeah. So is it revenge you're after?
When I saw Vela standing over me in that moment of my creation, it was not hatred I felt, it was heartbreak. For I loved her, stranger. I loved her dearly. And suddenly I saw all those possible futures I described. All those joyous fantasies just melted away. The Vela I saw was the Vela I had always feared. So no, stranger, I seek no revenge, I hold no hatred in my heart. If I can be said to have one at all, I just want this all to stop. I want to see his smile again.
Thanks for the story.
I'm glad you listened, stranger. Soon enough you'll face Vela again, and now you may have one single advantage over her. You may understand her.
Indeed. And that finishes that quest. Huh. Well then. Let's go jump off the balcony again. Just get back to their bridge. What the? There we go. Told you to grab it. Because I want to finish this quest of, you know, the special papers. Hand over your travel permit for inspection. He examines your permit through a magnifying glass, then punches commands into a machine. You notice tufts of cotton protruding from his ears. Suddenly, the machine screeches like a god's nail being dragged across the chalkboard of your soul, and your stomach twists as if you are falling from a great height. After several minutes, the god removes his earplugs.
His Majesty says you may pass. Long live the Clockwork King.
Sheesh! I got a remarkable treasure. And a glimpse of a delusion. Lovely. Well. Now we need... Well, we could run to Hollowtown. See if we can buy a special passport. You know? And by special passport, I mean, you know, a fake one. On second thought, you know, maybe we'll do something back here real quick. Yeah, maybe we'll just go see the king. Say hello. He has requested an audience, after all. It'd be rude to tarry any longer. Right? Yeah, bring that down here. What's it doing up there, anyway? Huh?
Speak quickly, citizen. My time is in high demand.
Why is there a giant teapot in the sky?
No need to be alarmed. Our best minds are investigating the apparition. In the meantime, carry on with your business. Are you finished here?
Hey. Need any jobs doing?
Your zeal is commendable, but we have adequate resources. Although, perhaps there is one thing. Less a job than an indulgence. No reward, just an aging man's thanks. There is a missing persons notice board in the underpass, at the foot of the machinarium. The citizens mourning their loved ones, sadly lost to the corruption, or other factors. Technically, much of it is treasonous, but we allow it to remain as a pressure valve, if you will. On my last visit, I saw a message from a grieving father, Olaf, I think, or perhaps Omar, seeking his missing child. Call it sentiment, but it moved me. If you choose to help him, do not tell me the result. The king's speaker should not exhibit bias or or partiality to any one citizen. Are we finished here? Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Another quest added to my list. Well, I guess first we'll kill the king, and then save the child. Right. Where's your little, input thingy? Where do I put this punch card? Or do I just talk to you? Can I talk to him? Yeah? The machine shrieks like a million condemned souls as the feeling of pressure mounts in your body once more. Then your cranial moderator clicks into action. Suddenly the noise becomes an intelligible chorus. Incoming messages, outgoing commands, distant outposts, requesting connections, or announcing faults. There are so many faults. You're standing in the brain of this awful machine, and it's bleeding to death.
Rejoice and exult. The invocation is cast. All hail its majesty. Marcus Rex, the Clockwork King. Welcome back, subject MCDS/CCSLII. Thou mayst rise. Hast thou completed the sacramental duty?
How shit are you know, you jumped up abacus?
Pondering. Judgment. The duty remains unfulfilled. Dost thou require instruction as to thy task?
Please, explain again.
The sacramental duty is as follows.
This time you find you can understand the dense lines of six-fold cipher.
Ingredients: teapot, large, 4 pints fresh Darwin's milk, 1 cup salted butter, of salted water, half a teaspoon. 61,660,000 gallons fresh water, 652,152 tons of vanillin tea, 30,540 tons of unsweetened sugar, 2 pints teapot, or 2 pounds crinkled honey, 4 pints custard sog, half pint ambergris, smooth meat, 3 pounds chicken loss powder, teapot. Instructions: 1. Fill kettle with fresh water and boil. 2. Measure out 4 pints milk sauce. 3. Place tea strainer in teapot and tea leaves in strainers. 4. Steep for 15 years. 6. Brush with starve, seal root, mixture, and beat until blithe. 5. Stir in moss powder, ambergris, and sugar to smell. Then pour in the boiling water. X. The heat will rise rapidly, and the water will bubble up, so finally that your cup may even shatter. 6. Stir in milk, then pour into drinks. 19. To avoid heavy metals contamination, cut crosswise with salt. 471 serve 6 into your tea. For more fine tip recipes, call cut off a coupon. Please cut off a coupon and send to Mrs. Jane M. Gorky, 778, Tarbrick 1, Castle Town, Fulk, Oblast, Quick.
You want me to make a pot of tea?
Judgment correct. This is the sacramental duty on which depends the safety of this kingdom and all subsidiary imperatives.
One minute, Clockwork King. I need to get some water. You know, for the tea, right? For the tea, yes. Be right back. Water. What? I got the water. I got, not quite 600,000 tons of water, but I have water. A bottle. This isn't even how you make tea!
Judgment incorrect. We have studied more than CCXLI iterations of this ceremony across the kingdom. The sacramental duty is the optimal weighted equilibrium of all subjects' desires. This is the sacramental duty as it is written, so it must be.
This has to be a joke.
Judgment incorrect. This is a joke.
In sixfold.
There are 10 kinds of people in the Olyric Times. 0. Those who know sixfold. 1. Those who know not sixfold. 2. Those who know sixfold excellently. 3. Those who know sixfold but poorly. 4. Those who know not that they know sixfold. 5. Those who know not that they know not sixfold. 10. Those whose knowledge of sixfold is unknown to us at this time.
I stand corrected.
This is the sacramental duty as it is written, so it must be.
Your Majesty, we must discuss more urgent matters.
Pondering. Ordering. Unlikely. 91% confidence. What could be more important than a sacramental duty?
Well, you see, The guild sent me to give you a new spell.
Judgment. We have not requested a new spell. Therefore, we demand on whose authority comes down here.
It's necessary for the sacramental duty.
Pondering. Judgment. The sacramental duty is of paramount gravity. Therefore, eat it. Thou shalt insert the spell into our petition port.
An ivory cover swings upwards, revealing 2 vertical slots of different sizes. It straight up says, "And kill the king." Down with the patriarchy! No kings! You slide the punch card easily into the larger slot. Halfway in, it meets resistance and is sucked inside.
As a spell. Beware, enacting this spell will alter our Majesty's cyclone quiz, and the consequences cannot be denied. Wilt thou commit?
Commit. There is a burr of rapid clicking, then a series of deep clunks echoes through the whole tower. Above your head, a cacophony of bells rings out, like a call to worship across the whole city.
Rejoice and exult! The spell is enacted. As it is written, so it shall be. In the name of His Majesty, Magnus Rex, the Clockwork King. Subject MCDS/CCXLII. Thou carriest a second spell. Ordering, conflicting spells may cause cascading reality exception. 65% confidence. Therefore, eat it. Thou shalt insert this heretical spell into our petition port for controlled annihilation.
Sure. Afra's spell is sucked away into the guts of the Clockwork King, and with it her hopes of a world where magic serves all.
Now subject MCDS/CCXLII, the sacramental duty.
Above the bells, you can hear angry shouting from outside the chamber. You realize the scrolling parchment contains a record of your acts.
Slice it out with your blade.
Alas, parchment be fault.
The king's writing arm stabs at your hands as you pull the last few yards of parchment out and stuff them into a gap in the gears down into the depths of the machine. New parchment continues to spill out onto the floor while the arm scrawls desperately.
Eat it to discern that the parchment is anathema. Eat it to discern that the parchment is anathema. Eat it to discern that the parchment.
Yeah, just gonna leave. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. We're all good here. We're all good. Hi. I just went to see the king. Got new orders.
What have you done?
Above you, the king's bells continue ringing. I don't know what you're talking about. Sunil eyes you with barely suppressed fury.
The only reason you're not in manacles is because Its Majesty wishes you unmolested. Rest assured, any foolish attempt at tampering will be discovered and reversed.
Sunil, go yourself. For a moment, he is stunned, mouth hanging slightly open. By the time he regains his composure, you're already walking away, and his shouted retort is drowned out by the din of bells. Afra wants to know what happened. She's waiting for you in the park after nightfall. I'm sure she would like to know what happened. But first, I gotta check this out. The surface of the notice board is entirely lost beneath layer upon layer of paper, while half-melted candles shelter at its foot. A sign at the top reads, "Missing persons." Look for the notice that Sunil described. Don't worry, I'll make it up to you, Sunil. I'll help this person, and well, actually, you told me not to tell you how things go, so you won't even really know, will you? Well, it's fine. It's fine, you know? One notice in particular catches your eye. It looks relatively new and is written in a spidery hand. Dear child, I don't know why I am writing this. I don't know who you are. I don't even remember your name. I just know there is a hole in my life and nothing fills it. If you're real, please come home. I want to feel right again. Oleg Igorovich. This must be the notice Sunil meant. It gives directions to a house on the northeast islet of Ferropolis, accessed via the city's rear gate. The city's rear gate? This one, then. The Royal Vision Works? Shall we show you? House on the islet northeast of the Machinarium, accessed via the city's rear gate. It says house. Certainly not talking about Dreamer's Reprieve or Morozov's Tower. I think it's the Royal Vision Works. Where else could... Guess we'll go look for a house out here. Where is the rear gate? Then. If this ain't really it. It looks like there should be something here, but I don't... Wait, no? That's the other... That's this path. What you mean about rear gate? Okay, so let's see. Front gate. So you think rear gate is back here, right? There's that gate. There's the park. Yeah, it's gotta be accessed through this rear gate. Oh, do you just mean this? This little islet? You mean this? Right here? Is Oleg here? That. Be gentle with yourself, dear. No one can do everything at once. Uh-huh. A glass bottle flies past your ear and smashes against the door frame. Its thrower is a middle-aged man, clearly very drunk.
Who the are you? Get out of my god to some home.
Oleg Igorovich, I presume?
Who's asking?
The guild has taken an interest. I'm an adventurer. Maybe I can find your child.
You're excuse me, adventurer? What does that mean? Oh, you're gonna slice me with a sword.
If you want anything useful out of him, you'll need to sober him up. Give him a slap. The man blinks in surprise, then slaps you back.
You who the do you think you are coming into my house? Oh. Is this your idea of helping? You have wasted your time. My child is gone. I'm still here. That's all there is. Case closed, end of message.
What do you mean gone?
I have no child. Once, yes, Zhelek Mishkin and Indira Mishkin died young. Buried them myself. Ancient history, you can see I live here alone here. But last month I found something. A locket in among the junk in the back of that cabinet I never opened. Says, to my father. I don't recognize it, yet somehow I know I've seen it before. I've thought about it, and there's only one answer. The locket is mine. I did have another child, one that I have somehow forgotten. So now you've heard the whole tale. Isn't it pathetic? A grown man weeping over a fantasy. I don't care if you believe me. Just leave me to drown myself in peace.
Can you tell me anything at all about the child?
Nothing. You see my problem? There are no clues. The pain is so much worse now that I know, and yet I have no way to end it. I thought perhaps if I drink enough, I will forget all over again. No such luck. And now you see the case is hopeless. And the one person who could help would never talk to me. As I said, you are wasting your time.
Well, I could talk to this person for you. Oleg examines you, weighing his options.
Well, if it will make you leave me in peace. To the west of this city is a place called the Library of Untruths. No signs point to it, and no official map marks it, but it's there. Take my locket and show it to the librarian, and perhaps, maybe, she will help. Listen, I am not sentimental. I know my child may be dead, or worse. All I want is to know their name and their fate. At least then I know who to mourn for.
I'll see what I can do, Mr. Mishkin.
Next time, I won't miss.
But next time I'll have news about your daughter. Doesn't seem very grateful of you to chuck something at somebody who's helping you. Alright, gotta go this way, right? Gotta go up that path. Critical spell cast. Ooh, 4 coins. I wonder if that can crush me. Like, is it possible for it to crush me, or would it just push me forward, or does it even really move? Its wheels seem to be spinning, but I'm not sure if it actually goes anywhere. Oh, wait. This library actually... Ah, there. Okay, I did need to go up here. Yeah. Hello! Hello again, dearie. Can I help you find anything? Hang on, gosh dang. Every stream, it seems like. Get out of here. Stupid bots. Is this the Library of Untruths by any chance? She looks at you over her spectacles. The Library of what? That certainly doesn't sound like a real place, dearie. If such a place did exist, you wouldn't be allowed there, and so, if this was it, you'd have to leave. But it doesn't, and this isn't, so you're fine. Quick question. How many fingers am I holding up? Is this a game, dearie? I confess I don't know the rules. 3 fingers, of course. Alright. But what about this locket? Does it change your answer? What's this? Did Oleg send you? I've already told him I know nothing about any... Her eyes catch the locket, and suddenly she can't look away. Locket. So you do recognize it? I've never seen this locket in my life, except... Why does it feel so... She takes it gingerly, feeling it in her hands. She shoves the locket back at you. Please leave. Till that drunken bloody oaf, I want nothing to do with him, and I'm not! As I said, I'm not rescinding my petition. You misunderstand. I'm looking for Oleg's missing child. She listens to your explanation with growing alarm. But that's preposterous. That can't be right. I know that isn't... Her eyes return inexorably to the locket. King's mercy. It's true, isn't it? She looks back at you, seemingly on the verge of tears. I apologize for my outburst. I'm a little taken aback, you see. It's my child, too. I thought so. Listen, I can't help you. This is just an ordinary library. You see? There's nothing here about any missing child, and I am authorized to help you with whatever you need. Do you understand? Wait, are you lying right now? I get it. You're enchanted, so you can't talk about this place. She gives you a meaningful look. Don't be absurd. There used to be a librarian here who could only lie, but she turned into a dragon and flew away. If there were any record of your child, how would I find it?
Well, since neither I nor Oleg can remember the child, it stands to reason that they never existed. And if they never existed, there couldn't be any record, certainly not here. Anyway, there's no way to access the reading room upstairs without a royal permit. No way at all. Can you imagine if it was something as simple as a hidden lever?
Her gaze briefly darts down under her desk. She yawns theatrically.
Oh, dear, I'm feeling rather tired. You'll behave yourself if I rest my eyes for a moment, won't you?
Reach over her desk for the hidden lever. Your fingers quest around underneath the lip of her desk until they find something that clicks. Upstairs, you hear a mechanical door clank open. Don't worry, you've been very helpful.
Thank you, dearie. It's, Genevieve, by the way. My name. Genevieve Mishkin. I don't know why, but I felt you should know that.
Thank you, Genevieve Mishkin. This seems like a terrible job. Ooh! A lockpick. Not sure why they're giving me a lockpick, multiple lockpicks here. I mean, is this? No, that's the staircase I just came up. Yeah, it's not locked here. The machine thrums with sorcery. A quill is tethered to it by a silver chain.
Welcome to the Library of Untruths. Please inscribe thy query. Beware, unsanctioned access is punishable by controlled annihilation.
Show me your file on Oleg Igorovich Mishkin. Wheels and gears begin to spin. Below your feet, you hear the library pulling up scrolls to be loaded into the machine.
Pondering. Alas, cannot summon codex. Record of fault. Codex not sanctioned for this installation. Only redacted subjects are listed in this archive. Describing related codices. TCCCCLIII/CCXLV. Genevieve Elodie Mishkin, branch 1. CXXIX/DXXII. Igor Suleimanevich Mishkin.
Show me your file on Genevieve Mishkin, branch 1.
True name. DCCCCLIII/CCXLV. Common name Genevieve Elodie Mishkin, branch 1. Birth date Ante-Rex 17, month 5, day 5. Birthplace St. Void Apostatic Republic of Bion. Status redacted.
Show me a list of this person's relatives.
LXXXI/DXXLV. Genevieve Elodie Mishkin, branch 0, status alive. CXXIX/DXIV. Oleg Igorovich Mishkin, spouse, status alive. CLXX/XXVIII. Galet Olegovna Mishkin, first child, status deceased at birth. CCII/LXV. Indira Olegovna Mishkin, second child, status deceased, age 7. Pox.
There's one more entry which somehow didn't appear in your initial search.
CCXLII/CCLIII. Alas, cannot conjure verse. Third child. Status. Alas, cannot conjure verse.
Tell me about this person's history.
Year 20, branch created by order of Machinus Rex, following selection of original for sensitive clerical service. Immediately detained for intensive vetting. Year 21, Month 2, failed first vetting, revised accordingly. Year 21, Month 3, passed second vetting, revisions applied to original. Year 21, Month 4, subject redacted by order of Machinus Rex.
Tell me more about Genevieve's unknown third child.
Alas, cannot summon Codex. Record of fault. Subject re-indexed under Royal Project MMCCCIX. Horoscope. By petition of Sunil Khan, King Speaker.
By petition of Sunil?
What is Project Horoscope?
Alas, cannot summon chapter. Record of fault. Chapter sealed by petition of Sunil Khan, King Speaker.
Can you show me anything related to this person?
Pondering.
The machine rumbles and words for some time as it dredges up the next scroll from the deep within the recesses of the library.
Annals of Royal Project MMCCCIX. Horoscope. Case file. Subject V. Original true name CCXLII/CCLIII. Common name. Alas, cannot conjure verse. Birth date. Anti-Rex 4, month 5, day 59. Birthplace. Unknown. Yansk Oblast. Headline outcomes. Branch 0, original. Alas, cannot conjure verse. Branch 1, dead by suicide. Branch 11, dead in prison. Branch 111.
Hang on. Not 11. Aye. These are I's.
Branch I, dead by suicide. Branch II, dead in prison. Branch III, executed for sedition. Branch IV, emigrated without permit. Branch V, assigned to royal service.
So branch 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What the? Alas, cannot conjure verse. Branch 0 is original. Branch 1, dead by suicide. Branch 2, dead in prison. Branch 3, executed for sedition. Emigrated without permit, assigned to royal service. Who are all these people?
Alas, cannot summon chapter. Record of fault. Chapter sealed by petition of Sunil Khan, King Speaker.
What does cannot conjure verse mean?
Summoning Codex, Compendium of Faults, 57th edition. Citation: Fault LXVI/XIX occurs when records in royal annals are lost or corrupted. Attempt manual inspection or file a petition to Chaos Operations.
What happened to the original subject V? Show me their history. This time you hit pay dirt. Here are all the milestones and misfortunes of Oleg's third child, recounted with the clinical detachment of an account book.
Year 3. Registered in Royal Annals. Age 6. Assigned to basic schooling in Yansk Oblast. Year 8. Reassigned with family to Ferropolis. Year 9. Petitioned Machinus Rex for technical schooling. Denied.
Read through this person's full history.
Year 10. Assigned to factory service in Ferropolis. Reprimanded for carelessness. Year 11. Petitioned for medical permit. Tonic of jitter seed. Granted. Year 14, Month 2. Permit revoked due to supply considerations. Year 14, Month 3. Reprimanded for malingering. Year 15. Dismissed for carelessness and insolence. Assigned Year 16, assigned to Royal Project MMCCCIX, Horoscope. Year 18, assigned to Menial Service in Ferropolis, as per project parameters. Year 21, arrested for sumptuary violations, 2 days in stocks. Year 22, month 0, petitioned for change of common name, granted, as per project parameters. Year 22, month 4, petitioned for corporeal transfiguration, change of sex, denied, as per project parameters. Year 21, month 1, Year 23, month 1, appealed previous petition, denied, as per project parameters. Year 23, month 3, assigned to agricultural service in Istrik Oblast, as per project parameters. Year 25, petitioned for reassignment to Ferropolis, denied, as per project parameters. Year 27, alas, fault in status check. Year 28, alas, fault in status check. Year 29, alas, fault in status check.
That's all there is. You'd better ask the librarian what she makes of it. Try to learn more about Project Horoscope? After some digging, you find a record that was left out of Speaker Sunil's veil of secrecy, though it raises as many questions as it answers.
Subject V. Final conclusions. This subject and his branches were by far the most variable alumni of Project Horoscope. Branch 0, the original, achieved the lowest combined aptitude and patriotism score, CAPS, in the entire cohort. Due to deficits in faith and compliance, which outweighed his merit in scholastics and invention, most alterations produced wild instabilities, leading to adverse outcomes for those branches. However, Branch V subsequently achieved the highest caps of all horoscope alumni, earning admission to the Guild of Machinists. Since then, she has made transformative contributions that recommend her for higher office. Lessons for future alteration doctrine are set forth in our full report. Signed, Sunil Khan, Chief Summoner, Century 0, Year 23, Month 3, Day 14.
No further queries.
Contemplation concluded. Please replace Quill.
Sounds like some pretty horrible stuff going on. And it sounds like the daughter is going through it. Got in trouble with the law, wanted to change their face, change their gender, sex, whatever. The librarian quickly hides a handkerchief underneath some papers as you approach. Her eyes are red and wet.
Oh, hello, dearie. Do pardon me. All the parchment here plays havoc on my allergies.
How are you holding up? She wipes her eyes.
Thank you for asking, dearie. I'm sure I'll be all right. People can go back to normal after anything, can't they? As long as we have some way to get there. When my little Indira died, we had a funeral, sang songs, said goodbye. Then there was a gravestone with a name on it. I still visit every year. It was like, I don't know, like a bridge, linking the world where she was alive to the one where she was gone. This? What am I even meant to do with this? At least there's only machines here to witness my tears. The librarian smiles weakly. Is that all, dearie?
I think I found something about your missing child. Also, giant snowflakes.
Oh, well then.
She takes a deep breath.
Go ahead. I'm as ready as I can be.
Well, the last known location was a place called
Istrik Oblast. Istrik? Oh dear me. That's what we used to call the corrupted lands before they were consumed. I've never heard of any survivors. I didn't get the child's name. Something about a fault in status check. She did request to change the name. How curious. It's quite similar to what the king says when you ask it about people who've fallen prey to the corruption.
Genevieve looks forlorn.
I suppose the answer is staring us in the face, isn't it? When something becomes corrupted, its official records get scrambled. Some say it also affects people's memories of the thing. Although obviously, you and I both know that last part is claptrap. Istrik is gone, but there's a royal cleanup camp near where it used to be, out in the corrupted lands. If there are any clues left as to this child's fate, you'd surely find them there. I'll do what I can. Thank you, dearie. I'll be praying to the king for you. Yeah, about the king. About the king. Yeah.
Don't worry about it. What happened to your child won't be happening to any other children. It's great. Everything's great in the kingdom. Nothing is going wrong. Everyone will be really happy.
Woohoo! Yippee!
Hello, do you know anything about a child that was in Ibrisk? Isbrook? Whatever it was called. The town that ceased to be. Oh, is this really truly necessary, man?
You've been outside. What do you think?
The poke a long thing, probe inside my mouth, and
All right, you're clean. For now. Go on ahead.
shoosh. What? Wow. Cleanup leader Huang looks up from his maps to the scowl, cigar perched in his mouth. You know what? Here's this.
Talk fast or get out, sunshine. The corruption waits for no one.
Looking for a missing child. Huang listens to her story, shaking his head.
I'm sorry you came all this way for nothing. Finding a single person among the corrupted, let alone a name, it's pure bonkers. Corruption warps most things beyond recognition. If this kid got absorbed into a canker's mass, they've not even got a body anymore. Sometimes individual corrupted ones have traces of their old selves, clothes, tattoos, and the like, but that's rare.
Could I get a closer look at those corrupted ones in the cage?
Huang takes the cigar out of his mouth.
You're a real specimen, aren't you? Be my guest, if your life's that cheap.
Cleanup workers Cohens are our resident monster expert. So if you've got other questions, ask them. Huang leans over to the speaking trumpet again.
Attention, cleanup worker Cohen! Attention, Cohen! Let this weird-looking schooner into the cage, will you? Huang out.
Try to be so rude. Oh, door's open. Nice, thank you. You feel the clockwork in your skull grind into furious motion as it translates the corrupted one's speech.
Amble neatly into violet qua reification, instill reprieve, instill longing, softly tales of the minor gods and dancing cup and rain streaks. Give us a sign, oh nurturing earth, qua, confession, we were so young.
Can't see any indication that this is Oleg's child. Hey, so these are clearly people that have been transformed by the king, right? You feel the clockwork in your skull grind into furious motion as it translates the corrupted one's speech. And they speak in sixfold cipher.
Beginning at the end, for want of finitude?
Aporia. Only the facts, if you please. Alas, threshing engine, what I cannot be saved. Why won't you listen? In catatonic bustle round and round. Congratulations, you have been accepted. Away, haul away, we'll haul away together into Royal Project MMCCCIX. Horoscope. Alas, threshing engine I has suffered yearning unbefitting of its station. Useless. Edict. No one listens. Your father sent me. I'm here to help. It stares at the locket as if hypnotized. Limerence. Pa. The corrupted one becomes visibly agitated as its movements in its movements and speech. Edict. Stop slouching, water trickling gently through the park. Please listen. Alas, fault in status check. Unlatch. Receipt. He loves you, dearie, even if he doesn't show it. Alas, cannot exist. Subject CCXLII/CCLIII. Thy petition is hereby granted. Please listen. Entreaty. We are sorry to inform. Can you tell me your name? Dear Pa, I am writing to tell you. Clean each crystal head thrice daily until record of fault. Help us, we are lost, and enclose this locket, which I hope shall always remind you. Please listen. Edict, all prior common names are hereby annulled, and shall be as dust. Come on, we have to go. Sincerely, your loving daughter, Afra Mishkin. As in Chief Interpreter Afra? It's not clear whether she can understand you. Attention, please evacuate immediately for your own... So we'll no more go a-roving. Please help us. Alas, cannot exist. Afra, there's no time. Unlatch. Receipt. I mean, you sent it to your father, so it wouldn't make sense for you to keep it, right? You've done what Oleg asked of you, and he'll be waiting to hear what you found. But perhaps first you should try to learn the whole truth. What's the purpose of Project Horoscope? What role did it play in Afra Mishkin's fate? And how is she connected to other Afra that you met before? The only one who could answer these questions is the man whose name was stamped all over the horoscope files. Sunil Khan, the King's Speaker. Feel the clockwork in your skull.
Give us this day our drifting motes. Forgive us our small umbrages as we forgive Mrs. Barker of 37 Crundle Road Progress. Nothing, nowhere, no when. Chimera. What did he mean by it? Instrixberg is falling down, falling down, falling down.
You can't see any indication that this is Oleg's child. Yeah, I already know that.
How'd you get on in there? That last one looked like it wanted to make a proper mess of you.
You didn't tell me the Corrupted spoke sixfold cipher.
Sixfold? You mean you understood that gobbledygook? I see now. You've got one of those fancy machinist skull implants. Hope you have an edifying dialogue.
One of them told me her name. I think she was asking me for help. Cohen looks perturbed.
Its name? You sure you heard that right? That's definitely weird. I suppose that supports my vestigial memory theory. Assuming it wasn't just some name it heard around the camp. Look, I know it's unsettling, but they do this sometimes. The last machinist we saw here thought it was some sort of reflex action, like rigor mortis. Try not to lose too much sleep over it, eh? Anything else you want to know?
Do the machinists know how to talk to these things?
Sort of. There was this cog who visited last year. Spent hours listening to him. Taking notes, never seen anyone write so fast. He had one of those implants, too. He was pretty tight-lipped, but I gathered he didn't learn much. Said it was like talking to a lunatic, or one of those big insects that mimics your voice. They're saying words, but there's no deeper meaning. Sound and fury in it. Anything else you want to know?
One of them seemed to recognize my locket.
That's uncommon, but not unknown. Sometimes they seem to be attracted to particular places. Houses, town squares, ruined fountains. My theory is that some of them retain vestigial memories from their life. Anything else you want to know?
Thank you for your time.
What else can I do you for?
Stay safe, Cohen. Maybe close the door. Yeah. We've got some questions for Sunil Khan. Come on, jump. Khan! What have you done? Above you, the king's bells continue ringing. I don't know what you're talking about. So your eyes, you with barely suppressed fury. Only reason for nothing. Yeah. Long live the king, Sunil. He narrows his eyes, uncertain of your meaning. Long live the king. The royal militia behind him all holler in unison. Long live the king! Okay, but I guess I cannot talk to him about this, huh? Well, that's troublesome. Well, I wish I could, but apparently I've progressed other quests too much, and now I can't. I'll get to you in a second, Afra. Or, you know, maybe you can tell me about this other Afra? Find Afra humming to herself. It's a haunting tune, somehow familiar and ethereal all at once, like a lullaby from time's own beginning. At the sight of you, hope and anxiety blossom on her face. Is it done? I heard the bells. It's done. I inserted your punch card. I mean, I did insert your punch card into a slot. Not lying, really. She wants to believe you and almost does, but as she scans your face, her brows knit. You didn't do it, did you? Somehow I already knew. Someone offered me a different punch card.
the saboteur. For a long moment, she stares at you, aghast. You can see her decades of practice controlling her emotions slowly taking effect. I see. If I may ask, why?
Burn it all down!
No system will ever be perfect enough to trust with people's lives. Suppose it was a fantasy to think anyone would see it the way I do. How long do we have? Long enough for people to prepare. She nods. An uncontrolled shutdown could annihilate the kingdom. Assuming the saboteur doesn't want that, I'd say we have weeks, perhaps a month or two. So that's it. The king will die and we shall see suffering. Starvation, disease, and violence unlike anything since the God War. Why did I imagine it could ever be otherwise? Wrong, Aphra. People will be better off without the king. I hope you're right. I truly do. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Isn't that what they say? We should make that our new national motto. Please, friend, don't rub more salt in my wounds. I think I need to be alone. Sorry it had to be this way, Aphra. Farewell. Aphra blinks, then looks up at the sky. Oh, the snow has stopped. Our long winter is finally ending. Alas, I fear spring will be cruel indeed. Once I dreamed that this kingdom could be a paradise. In the end, though, we all have to wake up. No, it could be a paradise. Look, the snow stopped. The snow stopped, and I don't see no giant kettle in the sky anymore. I think things are looking up, Aphra. I think this kingdom will be good. Everything will be fine. I mean, look. No snow, which means your eternal winter is gone. No tea kettle in the sky. Are there silkworms all over the town? Those are gone too. Yeah, see, you shut down the king or start the shutdown process, and immediately everything's getting better. See, everything's gonna be fine. It's all gonna be fine. The king is dying. Nobody else can see the signs yet, but I can. People have no idea what's coming. Honestly, neither do I. Okay, so I can't ask you about the whole Aphra thing. If I talk to Sunil now... I'm having trouble with the king. Talk to Reza. They really helped me out when the guild kept insisting I should be able to grow 2 acres of potatoes in my bathtub. Thanks, king's favorite to you. Yeah, I kind of already spoke with Reza. Hey Sunil, can I actually like have a discussion with you now? Here we go. So about that Project Horoscope.
Am I meant to recognize that name?
You should. You're telling me that it was some other Sunil Khan's name all over the project files. Sunil looks at you with a hint of surprise. The first time you've seen him off balance.
How did you?
You tell Sunil what you discovered about Oleg's daughter, Aphra. When you're finished, he sighs.
My, you have been inquisitive. Were your loyalties not so obviously suspect, you might even have made a good interpreter. So, what is it you imagine you'll get from me?
Oleg deserves to know the truth.
The things recorded in the Library of Untruths are fictions. They never happened. We're discussing imaginary hypotheticals. Do you understand?
Forget it. I don't know why I bother.
Are we finished here?
Hang on. It's only a fairy tale.
Oddly, Sunil smiles.
In a certain land, in a certain kingdom, very far away from here, yes, quite so. In a certain land, there was a king with magical powers. One day, the king's retainers asked if he could use his magic to transform people into their best selves. The king agreed, but first ordered a test. The king's retainers would scour the land to find 6 people who between them embodied all its variations in character and temperament. The king would then multiply each candidate 6-fold, changing every copy in a different way. The original candidates would remain unchanged to see what happened when the king did nothing. And to keep the test pure, the king would make all 36 subjects forget they were ever part of it.
Go on.
The 6th candidate, Afra, was wild and disobedient, showing little promise. Yet, it was one of their copies, the 6th, in fact, who proved wisest of all. And so the king was satisfied, and began using his magic to create many more good and faithful subjects. It was a great sorrow when the original Afra was consumed by a plague unleashed by the king's enemies. But eventually the plague was defeated, and everyone, or almost everyone, lived happily ever after. So, there ends the fairy tale, and there ends your telling of it, if you wish for a happy ending of your own.
You already knew Oleg's child was part of the project.
A ridiculous conjecture. Believe it or not, coincidences do still happen, even in the Clockwork Kingdom.
Is this how the corruption started? Project Horoscope?
Oh? Would you care to explain your logic?
You gave your king the power to alter people. Then people began turning into monsters. Don't you think that's a bit suspicious? Sunil examines you silently for some time.
You must think you're very clever indeed. Like a child who sees a house burned down and believes the wood is to blame. That the corruption is entangled with the king's powers of alteration is trivially true, and the guild has never denied it. The real question is who or what is thwarting those powers' correct operation. But it is abundantly clear that you know nothing of the king's magic, and I have better things to do than indulge the misapprehensions of children.
Oh, I know all about the king's magic. That's all.
Are we finished here?
How fares the kingdom?
Pester me not, citizen. Concerning reports reach us from all corners of the realm. Doubtless they stem from misunderstandings or temporary epiphenomena, but nevertheless they require my utmost attention. Are we finished here?
I'll leave you to your work. This whole kingdom is mad. Okay. Afra, I have something important to tell you about your past. Afra's brows wrinkled. My past? What do you mean? Well, Afra listens intently, with growing horror. God's alive. That's horrible. All those Afras, they could have been me. And I could have been them. They were me, and I was them. Why me? Why did I deserve to flourish and they to die? I never knew I had so many sisters. I thought I was changing the king, changing the system, but the king made me? And it also made my sisters, left them to die. So I'm an expression of the system that killed my sisters. Were all my hopes and dreams just part of its plan? Have I ever had a desire or a thought that the king didn't put there? Which parts of me are even mine? She seems on the verge of tears, her decades of practice controlling her emotions finally nullified. Oh, gods, what have I done? You've done nothing. I didn't input your spell.
Maybe it's all for the best, then. I just don't know anymore.
Aphra looks at you numbly.
Pardon me, friend. I need to be alone for a while. Please leave me to my thoughts.
Sure. But you should know you do still have parents. Yes, I have unspent delusions. We'll get to that. First, gotta talk with Aphra's father. Is it this way? Right. Sobered up, actually. You find Oleg absorbed in some kind of word puzzle. He is sober. When he glances up, you see bags under his eyes.
You again. Have you come to throw in the towel?
I found your daughter. Her name was Aphra. Oleg stares at you for a long time, without visible emotion.
Are you trying to scare me? Just picked that out of some book you read.
She'd be 36 this year. She worked on a farm in Istrik. She wanted to come home to Feropolis, but the king denied her. She wanted to go to technical school, but they sent her to a factory. Then they took away her medicine, so she got fired. She asked the king to change her body, but it refused. At one point, she got arrested for wearing the wrong clothes. Oleg looks at the wall. He starts to reach for a bottle and stops.
Aphra, what kind of name is that? Must have been Genevieve's idea. I would never have chosen it. Well, use the past tense, so I assume it is not good news.
Actually, it's complicated. You tell Oleg the whole story, from the cleanup camp to your confrontation with Sunil, and at one point his hands begin shaking, so he hides them in his lap.
I had suspicions, of course. That my forgetting was no accident. We all know the guild changes people, normal people, not just crooks and saboteurs. If you are observant, you see signs everywhere. Only, you can never be sure who is safe to tell. Special project. Guess I ought to feel honored. They should have looked after her. Given her an easy job, a pension, at least a medal. Well then, do you still have my locket?
He takes the locket gingerly in both hands, as if afraid of breaking it, and bows his forehead against it for what feels like an eternity. Oleg looks up at you, clearly struggling for words.
The way this ended is no fault of yours. You have given me answers. I am in your debt.
But wait! There's more! Oleg's expression turns sour.
What now? Can the man not be left to grieve in peace?
Don't you see you're part of this? Your job upholds the regime that got her killed. It's the system that's wrong.
No. There are versions of your daughter that survive. Don't you want to meet them?
I am happy for them, but they are not my daughters. You say they were altered by magic? Then they are new people. If they are anyone's children, they are the king's. Let its majesty look for them, if it wants. Now, please, no more questions. What else is there to say?
Corrupted or not, after recognizing the locket, she remembered you.
Are you going to say that some part of her is still in there? That maybe there is a way to save her? These are foolish tales people tell themselves because they are scared of the truth. Just as a corpse may gasp and twitch hours after death, so the corrupted vomit up chunks of the person they replaced. What you spoke to was only an echo, like a ghost. Besides, what should I do? Break her out of her cage, smuggle her past quarantine, hide her in my cupboard, then we would both be destroyed. My daughter is gone. Whatever thing has her body now, let them burn it. Now, please, no more questions.
What else is there to say? Very well, I'm done. A debt like this can never be made square. But let me at least give you a down payment. This key was kindly donated by a smuggler we picked up in a polite and civil conversation. He told us that it unlocked a stolen royal freight capsule, jettisoned from his ship, while flying over one of those outlying islands nobody visits. The island is only reachable by air, but you can bet there's treasure in that capsule. It was going to be my retirement plan, until somehow the key vanished from our stockpile. Oh well, happens all the time. And now I must ask one more favor. Not for me, but for my daughter. Take this candle to the missing persons notice board after dark. Light it, and let that be an end.
Don't you want to be there when I light it?
I'll find my own kind of ceremony. Some things must be done properly. Ladies,
Farewell, Blake. Olix says nothing. You leave him sitting in his cold little apartment, absorbed in his puzzle. Man. Well, that's about it for the Clockwork Kingdom. Is it after? Okay, yeah, let's make sure that it's after dark, shall we? Room for rent. Take it. It totally is. I did not need to rent this room at all. The surface of the notice board is entirely beneath. Yep, missing persons. Light a candle for Oleg's daughter. You place Oleg's candle among the others and light the wick. A soft green glow suffuses the leaves of paper, each one marking a life and a name. You think about Oleg's daughter and all her sisters, and all the people for whom there will never be any candles. Then you think about the faces you saw on your way here. What have they lost that they won't let themselves mourn? Whose absence do they feel without even knowing it? How many are pretending not to see the abyss for fear of being dragged into it? How many think it could never happen to them? Behind you, someone begins to sing. Croaking and hesitant at first, no words, just a mournful, keening tune. Something like an elegy, something like a howl. A prayer and a promise, a hymn for the missing. Maybe with that special buff, I could have gotten 80 charm in order to lie to Afra. That's fine. Do I put one more into Guile, or do I put it into Persona? I'll get 5 to these. I'll give 5 to these. You know, maybe getting a little more agility would be nice. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Alright, so I need a passport. He was talking about some island that requires an airship to get to. So I'll have to find that later. Guess we'll go back to Hollow Town. Or at least do our best to get back there. There was a teleporter right in Hollow, right? Woo! Yeah, Hollow Town. Perfect. That's exactly where I want to be. Let me also, while I'm here... Excuse me. Oh, you know what? Make it morning. Get my free potions. Paradoxicus. Yeah, that one's already activated. Why is it glowing? Also, just remembering. Yeah, the king gave me another mechanical lockpick when I got like knocked when I started his downfall. I already had one. Well, a locket that increases its wearer's stamina threshold, which makes long-term fatigue less severe. When open, this locket shows a peculiar forest that appears to move as if alive. There's no glass. Invigorating vapors spill through. Might as well. Hello.
What are you selling? What are you buying?
So you don't sell a passport. Well, you will buy this. And that's the only treasure I have. Okay. I swear there was someone who would sell me a fake passport. Do they work?
Well, if they didn't, I'm not likely to tell you now, am I? How's this? If the fella at the Gatebridge susses it's a forgery, I'll come give you a friendly visit at your Inquisition prison cell. Satisfied? So if you want one, just have a look through my stock. Obviously, didn't get it from me, right?
Wait. Oh, I must have already purchased one from you, and so you only had the one. Dang. Alright. Huh. Help! Help! Let me out! Wait a minute, is this the windmill? This is the windmill. I've been here. What the? Yeah! This is the windmill next to Quill Village. What the? That's wild. Well, I gotta find some other way to get my hands on a passport then. By the way, you wanna buy some gauntlets? Take all the gauntlets I got, man. 6 coins worth. Not much. Just really hoping for more. Just because, the outlaws dislike me, apparently. Somehow the Darkstar mercenaries are neutral. But the Wiccans, they hate me. I've killed so many gods. So... anyways.
Man.
So I guess we won't be headed there anytime soon. Maybe once we get an airship, we could visit. Aside from that, I think we've wrapped up everything around here in the Clockwork Kingdom. We took care of the quest with the Ghost Lady. Really, there's just war stories, which requires a ship, an airship, and our main quest. So, wait a minute. And I can just, run to the teleporter, which will take us to Vela's old fortress. That is now our base. Boop. To Vela's gunship. Nice. What's up? Oh yeah, you don't like me, huh? It's too bad. That's the wrong way. Hang on. Excuse me. Yeah, I know, I'm back. It's... What are y'all still doing in here? Thought we took over. This is our place now. Alright. No, that's the one that I just tried to use. Is this one? Yeah, it goes up. That's a good sign. Yeah, here we go. Open. Open sesame. I mean, we do have this ship. Just gotta get it up and running. And now we got all of our friends here. Drat, blast, sugar, blinking, blooming, flipping, fudge. Still having, say it with me. Cummerbund. This is just undignified. But enough of that. Are you bothering me for a purpose, or do you truly value your time so cheaply as to spend it on blooming chit-chat? Wanted to see how you're settling in. Oh, like a louse to an armpit. Who the fluff do you imagine restored this fortress in the first place? Given my abrupt departure from the Dark Stars, I suppose it's nice to be finishing the job. If only these dashed Union cretins would stop trying to assist me. As it happens, my father helped build these monsters back in the God War. The wooden parts are Lundalis, but the guns, plumbing, and nearly everything metal was made in Cardova. He used to put me to sleep by reciting components and assembly procedures. That explains a lot. Touché. So his fortress was made in the Clockwork Kingdom? Correct, although back then it was called the Cardovan Republic. Somewhere in the guts of this thing there will be a nameplate. Laid down in such and such a year, Progress Cardova, no gods, no masters. Funny how that one turned out. Well, I'm glad you're feeling at home. I wouldn't go that far. Will that be all? This clockwork exoskeleton is new. It helps you walk? My, how observant you are. In fact, ambulatory support is merely one of its functions. The first incarnation was rather less powerful, but to be fair, I was rather smaller. I expect you want the whole story. After all, it's so very inspirational. Please, go on. I'll spare you the exhaustive history of my diverse ailments. Suffice it to say that I was a sickly child. The only thing my physicians agreed upon was that I must submit completely to their humiliating remedies, no matter how painful or ineffective.
I disagreed, and in due course it proved that with a little technological cunning, I could treat myself better than they could. Machines, you see, actually listen to what one tells them. How people loved to hear that tale once I grew up. The machinists loved it especially. Come to the Clockwork Kingdom, where even a low-born invalid can travel to the skies and be garlanded as a champion of the realm. True, I was dogged and ingenious, but to what purpose? Yes, I improved my capabilities, but for whose benefit? Certainly I accomplished great things, but for whom? Myself? What a cozy thought. Sometimes I almost wish I hadn't bothered. At least then I wouldn't have been so useful. Espresso. See if I can come up with a question let's see if you can come up with a question I haven't heard before. About the task at hand. Yes, the search for my erstwhile comrades. Or should I say my former targets? Either way, this reunion will be interesting. So you've pressed old Jack Basalt back into active service. Poor fellow's currently avoiding me, which is adorable. Granted, we hardly parted on the best of terms. But at some point, we'll need to have a little chat. Alas, I'd forgotten how much the Duchess infuriates me. What she calls magic is merely the cant of a more primitive age, reciting cipher spells from memory. For pity's sake, it's like carrying a cart on your shoulders after the invention of the wheel. I get on rather well with Orlaith, or the Emberian, as you mustn't call her to her face. Initially, we despised each other, but then we had an arm wrestle and everything was tickety-boo. Since I was too drunk to remember it, I choose to believe I won. Alright. No points for novelty, I'm afraid. But at least you tried. That's all. Good luck with Fortress. Just as you're turning away, there's an awkward cough. Actually, one moment, if you please. I wish to... That is, it behooves me... Dash it all. Let's not prevaricate about the bush. You were quite correct to scold me back in the kingdom. The word for what I was doing was wallowing, specifically in childish rage and self-pity. Is thank you perhaps the phrase you're looking for? Don't mention it. We all have our bad days. Yes, quite. Very good. Well, what are you waiting for? A medal? Bog off before you break something expensive.
Ah, the blinding light. You know, I thought I'd never see this place again.
How are you settling in?
Makes my skin crawl seeing Inquisition agents scurrying around. Keep thinking they're gonna grab and throw me in the cell. But if siding with this lot is the only way to get to Vela, I suppose I'll have to get used to it. I'll oblige.
Sure is a big suit of armor.
Huh, this old thing?
She raises an arm as the armor plates clink and shift. You notice intricate mechanisms moving beneath.
Yeah, they don't make 'em like this anymore. The Emberians would inscribe their metal with cipher. Too intricate to see with the naked eye, but it makes the stuff stronger than it has any right to be. In the early days, we'd raid Emberian ruins. Often just Vela and me. A lot of them were already cleared out by raiders, or so you'd think. But I somehow knew there were things still hidden. A lever there, a switch here, a few taps on the keypad. Folk often wondered how we'd scored such big holes. Used to say we were lucky, or using forbidden Wiccan charms or something. Suppose there's some good things about being born from a tube.
About the task at hand.
Here you're gathering a bunch of former Darkstars, right? Well, I'll help you best I can. First of all, you'd better find Vela's old quartermaster, Jack Basalt. If he's in town, he'll surely be in the Wobbly Noggin pub. He always did have a weakness for the strong stuff, after all. He's already on the... If you're looking for the Duchess, she'll probably be back at her family manor in the Endless Realm. Can't say for sure where it is, though. She's... Now, Caxton Frost, he always struck me as a little odd, though I suppose the feeling was probably mutual. Maybe he returned to the Clockwork Kingdom? He's like right over there. You could probably see him from here. That's all I want to know. All right. You can't quite see him, but if you take a step right up here, right up here, you can see him right down there, just down the walkway. Not very observant, are you? Who are you? Oh, yes, Jack Basalt. Why am I staring directly at his chest? He nods.
Confessor, what can I do for you?
How are you settling in?
Ah, the blinding light. I remember when we captured this place from its Union caretakers. Back when we thought we could get away with anything. What might that be?
But the Dark Stars I'm looking for.
Right, you want to hear some more info.
Actually, nah, that's all. Yeah, that's it, I guess. Got you three. Where's the Duchess at? Huh? Where's the Duchess at? Is she perhaps near the god we have in our basement? Yeah, doesn't seem like it. Okay. Toodaloo. It does seem oh! Here you are. I see you have brought yourself a little home. A little study.
Ah, it's good to be out in the sky realms again. One can get frightfully bored spending eternity in dusty old tombs.
How are you settling in?
Just about finished transposing my collection of essential grimoires. Not a bad spot for them, eh? I must admit, it's exciting to see all these mortals scurrying around. There's an urgency to mortal life that's been lost to my kind. I realize now that since giving up this life, I've missed it.
I want to ask you something. Go ahead, mortal. How's your daughter?
Doing just fine, thank you. The air is clearer here. She enjoys the breeze on her skin.
Uh-huh. Got a task at hand.
I understand you're still looking for my former comrade.
No, they're all...
Well, you should start with Jack Basalt, who's in...
You'll probably find that old sea slug inside our fortress right now.
Now, if you're looking for Vela, you'll need to track down Orlaith, or as most folk call her, the Amberian,
also in the fortress, not in Hallshire.
If you're going to get this place up and running again, your best bet is to find Caxton Frost, one of the finest engineers I've ever known. I imagine he's back in Clockwork.
No, also in the fortress right now. They're all here. Why is Caxton the only one who noticed that you were all here? Well, that will, however, have to be it for today. Everybody is all assembled. All of our side quests that we have that we can actually do are completed. So all that's left right now... It doesn't work. Yeah, let me just take a look. Does this work now? No, not yet active. And that probably doesn't do anything yet. But yeah, all that's left is to speak with her. Also, after talking with Jack, I've realized that I'm a confessor. I don't think she's a confessor, but she is most certainly the ghost friend that we've been hanging out with. Yeah. But, man, we are getting close to the end here. Still don't know if it's going to be one more stream of Dread Delusion or two. Could possibly go either way.
depends on how much more there is here. I mean, we've completed our first task of go to the far reaches of the realm and gather a party of people to help us find Vela. So now we gotta find Vela, you know, track her down and fight her, and possibly other things. I mean, we're probably... Caxton's probably gonna get that airship up and running, which means we'll have an airship that we can fly around in. Go to various islands and things that we couldn't otherwise get to. We could do that old War Stories subquest that we've had for a while, but we couldn't do anything with because we didn't have a airship. And then we can also get that treasure that we just got the key for. Yeah, so there's probably just a little bit more wandering around to do, and then also tracking down and fighting Vela. Could be just one more stream. Depends on how much there is to do still. But yeah. This is a fun game. This is a real fun game. It's a solid open world RPG. Yeah, that's it for today. Wednesday should be more work on the OC redesign art. I did make a couple of tweaks. I've added some shading to the jetpack or booster pack or whatever, and I've thinned the lines on the midriff bit. Those like little armor plates. Thin the sidelines down a bit. I might thin them a little more. I'm not sure. I gotta ruminate on it for a bit, but they're looking pretty good. And I do still need to. I should probably start working on the leg designs so that we can get that going next after we're done with the torso. Because there's still a little more tweaking with the back of the torso, and then we need to draw the entire sides for sure. But yeah, it's going well. It's going well. That's where it's currently at. And then, if you happen to be tuned in to Final Fantasy XIV stuffs, today they have had the servers shut down all day in order to update to 7.2, which means there's new content. So Saturday, we're back to more Final Fantasy XIV, more main story. There's gonna be more, what's it called? Raids at the Orchestrion. There's gonna be more trials, more dungeons, probably involved with the main story progression. And soonish, it said 2.25. I don't know when that particular patch is going to release, but that's going to release some more Disciple of the Land / Disciple of the Hand content for like restoring the stars. You know, stars in this case meaning like planets and stuff. So probably gonna involve traveling to the First and maybe the Void and maybe other reflections, perhaps, to get their ether all balanced again after the Ascians' meddlings.
yeah. Gonna be continuing more Final Fantasy XIV stuff with 7.2 on Saturday, and that should be fun. I've been doing a lot of leveling off stream. A lot of leveling and doing some of the Blue Plus Unlock Quest series. A couple. One that unlocked some society quests for the... what's it called? Is it Thavnair? Thavnair area? The from Endwalker, that section with the elephant people and the alchemists and stuff. That area, I think it's Thavnair. Anyways, I unlocked their society quests, so I've been doing those because they give a lot of XP. You have to be at least level 80, but I mean, my ninja's level currently, I think 85 or 86. And, you know, the society quests give, well, they were giving 890,000 XP per, and you can do 3 per day. And now they're giving 900k per, and again, 3 per day. Is what I can do if I have the time. I haven't done today's 3 yet, and I may or may not. We'll see. Hopefully I'll have enough time to do those 3 and then another 3 tomorrow, because I want to level Ninja to 100, because they share gear with the Viper, which I already have as level 100, and so that will help to clear out some space in my armory chest. And I'm also working on tanks. Everything is level 60 plus currently, like all my jobs. And then I'm working on getting tanks to 70 plus, which would be Paladin and Warrior need to get to 70 to match with Gunbreaker, so that I can get rid of the less than 70 tank gear. And then I'll need to get them to 80 so I can get rid of the less than 80 tank gear, you know. And also, Dark Knight is actually, I've leveled it a little bit, mainly just because I was doing some Party Finder stuff. I was like, oh, this person needs some help with this duty or this trial or whatever. And so, and the only tank I have that could do that is Dark Knight. So, Dark Knight it is. So it's gotten to level 97 now. So it's getting close to 100, which is nice. I'll have 2 different classes that I could use for current content. But yeah, like I said, Wednesday should be more art. Saturday, more Final Fantasy XIV. Next Monday, maybe finish up Dread Delusion. Maybe not till, you know, maybe it'll take 2 more streams. We'll see. Regardless, until next time, be kind to yourself. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you next mission. Bye-bye.